Hey rockers, Michael from Essential Guitar Lessons, and let's learn how to play When I Come Around, another guitar lesson by Green Day. This is a fantastic song for beginners to intermediate players. Now I'm going to break this into sections for you to make it easier to learn. We'll look at the different riffs in the song, then we'll finish with the structure. We'll be using power chords, palm muting and muting the strings, just in standard E tuning. We'll be using 3-string power chords. Now if you're a beginner, just use 2 strings. So on the tab, don't play the top line of each chord. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe, heaps of songs and lessons to come. If you're having any problems with this song, or there's a song you'd like to learn, leave a comment and I'll get back to you. So let's make a start. So starting with intro 1, we'll be starting with our first finger on the 2nd fret on the E string, our 3rd finger on the 4th fret on the A string, and our little finger also on the 4th fret, but this time on the D string. If you're new to power chords, just leave your little finger off. And we're going to palm mute 2 times using a down up. Then we'll do 2 more palm mutes, and then an off on the same chord. So we have mute, 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 off, down, up, down, down, off. And that's our first chord there. Then as he's moving up to the next chord, so our next chord will be 4 on the A string, 6 on the D string and 6 on the G string. Now as he's moving up to that, he does another 2 palm mutes in the middle, but we want to keep our finger on the A string while we're doing, because we don't want it to be playing that note. We want just a muted sound. So as I'm sliding up, I play down, up, and I'm keeping my fingers on the strings as well, so we're just getting a muted sound. So that could be a little bit tricky. As we're moving up to the next chord, we're leaving our fingers just touching the strings as I'm moving, and I do a down up there to get to the next chord. So we have, and then mute, mute, off. Then we do that same thing as we're moving up to the next chord. We do a down up and we're just touching the string with my first finger. So down up as it's moving, and we get that muted sound. The next chord is 6, 8 and 8. So we have 6 on the A string, 8 on the D string and 8 on the G string. This time we do a mute and then an off, and then we just come up to 7 and 9 on the E, A and D string there, no mutes, and we do that twice. So going back to the start, putting the mutes in, and the tricky part to this is as you're moving, we're keeping our finger on the string and we're doing our down up in between the chords. So mute, off, 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 and up to speed. And again. So when you first start that could be a little bit tricky, because we're moving and playing at the same time and keeping our fingers on the strings as we're moving to the next chord. Don't push down hard. We don't want a slide sound. We're just touching the string as we're doing our down up in between the chords. So that's our intro 1, and he just does that at the start. Then we have intro 2. Now this is going to change a little bit just for our first chord. We're going to play an open on our 2, 4 and 4 on the E, A and D string. Then we're going to do a palm mute, so just muting 2 times, and then open again there. So we have da, bum, bum, ba. Now on that palm mute, we're going to do a down up. So down, down, up, down. As we're moving up, we do our palm mutes again and just muting the string. Back to our 4 and 6 on the A, D and G string, we mute twice and then play it off. Do our down up as we're moving up again. 6 and 8, 1 mute and then 1 off. And back to our 7 and 9 on the E, A and D string. So with that one, the only thing that's changed is the start. do that up to speed. And that's our intro 2. Now we have our verse, and this is the pattern he uses through most of the song. We're going back to our 2 and our 4 on our E, A and D string. This time we're palm muting twice and then off once. So our palm muting as we're coming up and just touching the string 2 times down up. Then to our 4 and 6 on the A, D and G string, 2 palm mutes and off. Palm muting again in between the chords, down up. Then our 6 and 8 on the A, D and G string, 1 palm mute and 1 off. And our 7 and 9 on the E, A and D string there 2 times. Let's try that slowly. And up to speed. And again. And that's our verse, and he uses that pattern quite a bit. Our next part is the chorus, and this is pretty easy. Now we're coming up to our 4th fret on the E string, our 6th fret on the A string, and our 6th fret on the D string. This is all open, no palm muting. So we go down, down, up, down, and then we do another 5 after that, all with downs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have down, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down. Then we just move up to our 7 and 9, still on the E, A and D string, and we play that 8 times there, all down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back to our 4 and 6, same pattern as before, down, down, up, down. And then back to our 7 and 9, and we're going to play that 5 times and stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's try that slowly. Up to 7 and 9. Back. And 7 and 9. Stop. And up to speed. And that's our chorus, so it's not too hard, it's just our down, down, up, down that can be a little bit tricky there. Our last part is the end, and the only thing that's going to change is the last chord. We're just going to play that once. So it's exactly the same as our verse, the 2 and the 4, palm mute, then off. Palm muting as we're moving up, doing our down up. On the 4 and the 6, palm mute, and off. Our palm muting again, down up. 2 times on our 6 and 8, 1 palm mute and 1 off. And then the last part just on our 7 and 9 on the E, A and D string, and just hold that there. So up to speed. And that's the end of the song. So now let's do the structure of the song. We have the intro 1 by 1, then we have the intro 2 by 1, the verse by 9. We go to the chorus and we do that once, then back to intro 2 by 1, the verse by 9, the chorus again by 1, back to our intro 2 by 1, then we do the verse times 3 because that's our solo, back to the chorus by 1, our intro 2 by 1, then we do the verse 2 times, and then our end riff there, finishing on our B chord. So that one's a little bit tricky. The chords are quite easy to play. It's getting the down up, muting the string as you're moving up, leaving your finger on the string but not pushing down, and getting the mute between the chords that can be tricky. If you're really struggling with that, you can leave that out and it'll sound pretty similar as well. As you get better with it, put it back in. So if you are having any problems or there's a song you'd like to learn, leave a comment, give us a like and subscribe for heaps of free songs and lessons. Now, if you would like step-by-step guitar lessons for beginners to advanced players and learn all the secrets to playing all your favourite songs and solos in no time, also heaps of free lessons, click the link below and jump onto Essential Guitar Lessons. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon.